Can I borrow this for a second?
Yep.
Play. Wildcats win the opening draw. Glad you're with us as Fedeski shovels it into the zone. Around out to the far side right, taken back by the Crimson. Outlet feed along to the near side left. Here's Mullins. Mullins gathers it up, gains a line, centers it up, broken up, and now the Wildcats will take it back along their near side right. Back through neutral, walked back through center by the Cats. A drop back feed, Howren looking for Turner. She sends it into the left glove hand of Tizenbaum, and we will get a face-off coming just 25 ticks here into the first.
That's all right. Just throw that puck in on net. Never know what's going to happen here in the early going, and just get something established in the Harvard end. Been a long time since the Wildcats defeated the Harvard Crimson here in Durham, 2007.
Along to the near wing, broken up. Lang tried to clear it up and out. Pelletier trying to pinch in on the near point, taken back by Hughes. Hughes along the near wing tries to bank it along. It comes back into the New Hampshire zone. Nice job there by Fusco, bringing it into the zone. A backhander in, blocked down in front. Wildcats try to play it around to the far corner. Cleared up and out of the zone. Wildcats touched up on their own line. It comes all the way back into the Crimson end. And that will result in a icing call against the Wildcats. 53 seconds here into the first.
Oh, it looked like it was going to be an icing call for Harvard, but some good hustle down there by Fusco thwarted that icing call, and then the Wildcats ice it themselves, so it'll come all the way back into the UNH zone.
Left side of Cashin, face-off controlled by Mullins, out to the corner on the far wing. Harvard tries to leave it behind further, goal line extended out on the corner, played around to the near wing. Wildcats try to backhand it out further along with Schlegel, taken back to the point, straight up and now up and out of the zone through the center blue line, comes out to the far wing. Controlled over there by Pepper. Around to the near side left. Outlet feed up along the near side wing. It's going to be taken back by Schlegel. D to D they play. A headman feed banked off the far half wall, and Cats come into the zone. But not for long, as it's whistle dead on the offsides. 18:34 to go here in the first.
Well, the Harvard Crimson's only win of the year has been here in New Hampshire. They took on Dartmouth in their opener back on October 23rd. They scored a 5-1 win against the Big Green.
Controlled again by Harvard, back through center, out to the far wing. Friesen tries to carry it along, backhanded along further into the New Hampshire zone. Revkin behind her own net, tries to outlet feed it up ahead along the near side right, hops over the stick of Hazlitt, comes back onto the Harvard line, and now back through center. It's going to be picked up on the clearance bid. Up along the near side right, Rowe, she lifts it into the zone, angles off the corner out to the far wing, wrapped out to the far side right for the Crimson. Wildcats in the midst of a change here. 2-minute mark of the first period, scoreless. Back up at the point, blocked down. Revkin with the blast. Comes out to the far corner, controlled by New Hampshire. Outside left circle, back up to the point, Revkin gets it to Rowe. Slides it back over to her left D and Revkin. Wildcats keep it in the zone, and there's Jonna behind the net. Curtis skates out to the far side corner, outside left hashes. She controls it back up to the point. Here's Rowe. Rowe sends it out to the corner, intentionally well wide out to the far wing. Jonna Curtis trying to take it away on the forecheck. Comes out along to the far side right. Cleared up and out of the zone as the Crimson send it diagonally out to the near side right. Rowe quickly regathers it and tries to carry it along. Fraser there tries to break it up. Wildcats control. A one-time bid there by Turner is kicked aside by Tizenbaum, and it comes out to the far wing, and it's controlled back at center by New Hampshire. Turner tried to take control. Fedeski now an outlet feed out to the far side left. A centering bid across the middle broken up. Comes out to Taves over on the far wing. Back up to the point, Fedeski. Fedeski to the corner now, looking for some help. Down low, goal line extended. Behind the net, here's McManus. She tries to jam one in. Comes out to the far wing, and it's going to be cleaned up over there by New Hampshire and Howren. Centering feed again. Taves couldn't get the stick down. Comes out to the far circle, and it's going to be backhanded up and out of the zone by Harvard. They clear it the length of the ice. Full change here for the Crimson. 16:40 to go here in the first.
Oh, Wildcats getting some good zone time in the Harvard defense.
Having a tough time skating up ice there was McManus. 6 points on the season for the freshman. Up along the near side left. It's going to be cleared up and out of the zone. Carried along further by Mastel. Puck comes bouncing back into the New Hampshire end. There's Schlegel out on the corner trying to lift it along. Off the far glass, taken back here by C. Out to the near side left. Here's Mastel again. Centering feed back across the middle. Here comes Hughes. Top of the circle on the right side, and a save made by Cashin. Puck comes out loose out to the corner on the Wildcats' far side left. Wildcats get it further behind with Schlegel behind her own netminder in Cashin. Center blue line feed up ice. Here's Hazlitt. Hazlitt gets it out to the near side right, and now here's Devin Taylor. Taylor overskates it. Now she'll hold onto it and regather. She now lifts it further along to the corner on the near wing. Inside 16 minutes to go here in the first period. Scoreless between the Cats and the Crimson. Along the near side wing, it's going to be lifted out of the zone by Fusco. She now gets it further up ice rather for a streaking up the middle. Fusco tried to get it further over from Hughes, and now the Wildcats will come away with it out on the far side wing. Bouncing puck back through center, icing waved off as it comes end over end back into the Tizenbaum end. Wildcats try to poke it away here behind the net with Dunbar. Comes out loose down low on the circle, and it's going to be steered up and out of the zone by Harvard. Hughes tries to get it further along. She gets met there with Turner. Gets it over for Revkin, and now a big diagonal out to the far side left as the Cats carry into the zone. Out to the far side corner. Behind the net, Cats cycle all the way through the zone. Behind the net, poke checked away, but regathered very quickly there by the Wildcats and Turner. Back up to the far side left point. Wildcats send one in wide. And back to the far side corner again is Jonna Curtis looking for a cross-ice feed through the slot. It comes out loose to the near wing. Fedeschi was there right in front, and it's going to be cleared back the other way. Here come the Crimson. Left circle, a centering feed, glancing the right pad of Cashin. It comes all the way back to neutral ice, and we have a penalty coming up here against the Wildcats. An interference call with 14:34 to go here in the first. Power play coming up for Harvard. Back after this. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield. Up here on the near circle. Crimson on the power play here with 14:11 to go here in the first. A bit in front, trying to guide it in there was C, and now it comes out to the near circle. Down low, played here by the Crimson. Back and forth they play with Lang. Gets it back up to the point, held in by Mastel. Mastel inside blue line, out to the far side right, dishes it to the top of the circle. Mastel regathers it, sending one in front. Save made Cashin, a follow-up bid and a score. A power play goal for the Crimson. That one's going to be knocked in by Lexi Lang, and it's going to be a 1-0 tally in favor of Harvard with 13:50 to go here in the first.
Yeah, Cashin made the initial save, but Lang was right there. It slid over to the right side of the cage away from us, and Cashin just had no chances. Lang was unmarked right there in the crease area. Lexi Lang, the junior out of Marblehead, Mass, pods her second goal of the year. Just the third power play goal for Harvard this year. They're now 3 out of 18.
So Pelletier tries to lift it along into the zone. 1-0 the score. Harvard on top. Early goings of this one from the Whittemore Center in Durham. Out along the far wing. Wildcats try to play with Taylor. Kick back to the point. Schlegel lifts one in, and it's gloved down by Tizenbaum. Stopping play at 13:28 to play here in the first.
Well, this is the only game in college hockey here. Division I on the women's side here tonight. Harvard University at the University of New Hampshire. Longtime foes.
Around out to the near wing. Trying to clear it up and out here is Mullins. Harvard now in their own end trying to carry it along. Mullins along the near side left. Gets it through neutral. Played here by the Wildcats. Taken away by the Wildcats. Behind the net and around. Chapman gets it out to the far side left. Lifted along further. Abby Chapman overskates it. Hazlitt was over there as well. Penalty coming up against the Wildcats again as it's controlled and touched up by Hazlitt over on the far wing. Another power play coming up here for Harvard.
Is that checking, or it's going to be maybe a boarding?
Probably a boarding call.
Boarding call. So, well, the kids from the country being a little rough on the kids from the city. Wildcats in the box for the second time here tonight. Harvard already with a power play goal.
Jonna tries to clear it up and out of the zone. She does so. She regathers, or the Wildcats regather it rather over on the far wing. Cleared back through neutral ice. Jenna Rowe there on the clearance bid. So just underway here on the power play for Harvard. They already have a 1-0 tally, courtesy on a power play goal by Lexi Lang. Out to the far side right. Carried into the zone by Harvard. Top of the circle over on the far wing. Sent in intentionally wide. Gathered up here by Lang on the near wing, and now here's Hughes. Back to Lang, back up to the point. Here's Mastel. Mastel inside the blue line, looking to creep her way in. Sends a wrister in wide on the near pipe. The Wildcats wrap it around and clear it back, courtesy of Julia Fedeschi, and now 1:14 remains on the power play for Harvard.
Yeah, like that, getting up on the glass so Crimson can get over there and make the play and keep it in.
In front of the penalty boxes, back through center. Here come the Crimson again, along the near side left, carried along to the near corner, angled back up to the point. Straight up now. Slapper knocked down in front. Retchlin there on the bid. Will give and go here to the near circle. Outside left, hash marks, back up to the point. Controlled over here on the right side by Zadie. Out to the near side left circle, a one-time bid. Almost fanned upon. A little handcuff there on the near circle for the Crimson was Zarzecki. Back up to the point, controlled here by Harvard with now 32 to go on the man advantage. Wildcats lift it back to and through the point, all the way back to the other end of the ice.
Yeah, that'll get fresh legs out here in the penalty kill for the last 25 seconds. Nice efficient job by the Wildcat penalty killers on this one.
Ratchlin out to the far side right, carried along here through center. The Crimson now gain the line, back up to the far side right point, top of the circle now, down low feed, looking to center it up, broken up. Wildcats clear it back to the other end of the ice, courtesy of Hazlitt. Comes all the way back to the corner on the left side of Tizenbaum, and the Wildcats have now killed off their first power play of the evening. Harvard now 1 of 2. Along the near side left, carried along, centering feed through the blue line. Lang couldn't quite get it all the way through. Wildcats and Fedeschi backhanded back to neutral ice. Controlled by the Wildcat decor over on the far side left with Jenna Rowe. With one arm, she gets it up and out of the zone. Comes back onto the Harvard line. They play it further and deeper back into their zone by Colbert. Along to the near side left, and Fusco will lift it to the corner. Cashin leaves it off for Fedeschi. Fedeschi tries to carry it along through the corner. Turned back by the Crimson. Turnover deep in the zone. Wildcats on the takeaway on the Hughes centering bid. And now back through center. Here come the blue and white. Out to the far side left. Shot in wide out to the near corner. Here's Hazlitt. Hazlitt was flanked on her near side with Schlegel. Hazlitt now on the near wing, trying to get a little bit of help here from Turner, who is just ahead of her. Wildcats on the takeaway, Harvard on the takeaway out to the far wing. Looking to carry it along over there was Mastel. Just in front of the penalty boxes, there's Turner for New Hampshire. Turner gets it back over to the near side right D, and Howard will backhand it along. Tori Howard, the freshman, Bancroft, Ontario, 2 helpers on the season in the last 2 games, and now here's Curtis on the takeaway on the corner. Jonna tries to backhand it along, and with the stick, it's guided up into the air and gloved down by Molly Tizenbaum. We stop play. Inside 10 to go here in the first. 1-0 Harvard on top. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield. Schlegel now back through her into the offensive zone, back behind the net. It's going to be cycled around. Schlegel tries to backhand it in. It's 1-0 Harvard on top. We approach 9 minutes to go to play here in the first period. Back up to the point. Here's Pelletier. Tries to take a shot in front. Doesn't quite reach. Now a wrister is sent in. And a save made by Tizenbaum. Nice follow-up bid by the Wildcats by McManus. Back up to the far side left point. Sent in. Oh, tipped in just wide. Cleaned up by the Wildcats out to the corner. There's McManus again. She pivots back. reverses deeper into the zone. Played in a centering bid. Wildcats couldn't quite convert. Back up to the point. A blast from Pelletier is sent in wide. Big bounce off the end wall. And there's Tizenbob to cover it up just aside the near pipe. 8:32 to go here in the first period. Hey fans, get out your phones for a chance to win a $20 mobile gift card from Dunkin' Donuts. Text UNH to 74121 now to get entered. Don't forget to download the Dunkin' Donuts app and enroll in the DD Perks Rewards program to take advantage of exclusive offers every month. Again, text UNH to 74121 now for a chance to win that $20 mobile gift card. The Wildcats and UNH hockey run on Duncan. Back up to the point, Fedeschi. Up along to the near side wing. There's McManus behind the net further. Wildcats play deep in the offensive zone. 1-0 Harvard on top. Fedeschi with a shot. Oh, and you almost getting a piece of it there was Tizenbob. It kind of took a funny redirect out to the far corner, and now Wildcats try to play out on the far side wing. Howard tried to get a handle of it. Wildcats try to keep it in over on the far wing with Prowse, and it comes all the way back into the New Hampshire end.
Wildcats, again, getting some good riding time in the Harvard defensive end and getting bids off, and a lot of deflections going just wide of the net. Cats need to just put one in here.
Along the near wing, Zarzecki couldn't handle. Revkin tries to skate up to it. Instead, everybody pulls back for the Wildcats, except for Chapman. That left winger on the front line, she tried to get a handle of it and turned back over. Wildcats carry it ahead. Here's Rowe. Rowe, the local girl, sends one in high and wide off the back glass. Off to the near side corner. Wildcats try to play it along here with Hazlitt. Revkin with a little bit of help alongside Devin Taylor. Cleared up and out of the zone by Harvard, and up along the near side left. Here's Lang. Lang along through the near circle, out to the near corner. Harvard only playing with 3 forward lines as Mastel now plays at the point. Out to the far wing. So you're going to hear a lot of that line of Fusco, Lang, and Hughes. We've seen Mullins quite a bit, Zarzecki as well. Behind the net, out to the corner now on the far side, and Harvard now pivoting out on that far circle. There's Lang with the power play goal. She gave Harvard a 1-0 lead. That's where we stand right now with inside 7 to go. A wrister in wide off the stick of Mastel. Out to the corner on the far side wing. Wildcats going to try to do everything they can to clear it up and out of the zone with Chapman. Turn back to the Crimson in front and trying to jam it in on the far pipe were the Crimson. And now it's going to be cleared out along to the near wing. Played here at the point by Mastel. Outside left circle. Gets by Hughes. Both teams battle for a loose puck here on the near corner. Mastel regathers it here on the near side left point. Tipped in. A save made by Cashin. A follow-up bid is sent in wide. Nice job there by Hallett there, just outside the far side of the crease. Another blast is blocked down in front by Harvard, and the Wildcats will come back behind the net and try to angle it along the near glass to and through the point. They get it back through the near side right wing, and Mastel regathers it, and on the change, she sends it right back on into the New Hampshire end. Back up to the right point. Slap shot blocked down. Hit a Wildcat body in front and row. Comes around to the near wing. Trying to pinch it in there for the Wildcats on the near wing. Trying to hold on to it there was Cashin there, as the Wildcats couldn't quite get a full hand. Turner took a funny bounce off her stick and kind of redirected further along to the circle.
Well, both teams seems like once they get it into the other team's defensive end, they're able to get some sustained pressure. Wildcats having a tough time clearing Harvard out of their own end, especially with the likes of that Fusco, Lang, Hughes line. Fusco, for you hockey fans, that's a name with a storied past. Dad Scott won the Hobie Baker on the men's side in 1985. If that wasn't good enough, Uncle Mark won it in 1983.
Along the near side right, cleared back by Turner. Up ahead, the Wildcats into the zone. A wrister just grazes the glove hand of Tizenbob. Wildcats clean it up, get it back up to the point. Here's Pelletier, a feed to Dunbar. Redirects out in front of the net, comes back to Pelletier. Touch feed back to Schlegel, who sends one wide off the end wall. Bounces back to Dunbar, outside right circle, back up to Pelletier. Wildcats reverse it and gets it through Jana behind the net. Played out to the far wing. Wildcats reverse it back out along the far wing. Dunbar tried to get it further along behind the net of Tizenbaum. Inside 5 minutes to go. Puck finds its way towards Tizenbaum. With a stick, she guides it aside. Wildcats keep it in at the point. Here's Schlegel now. Tried to get a slap pass down low, looking for Curtis. And now cleared back up and out of the zone. Here comes Harvard. Back through the center line into the offensive zone. Wildcats with a poke check away as Mullins carried to the head. back through the near wing, cleaned up here by Harvard and Fraser. Out to the far wing, played over there to the far side right, now into the zone. Here comes Harvard, atop the circle on the far wing. Centering feed broken up. Hughes tries to regather it as it comes loose behind the Hillary Cashin net. Up along the near wing. Played here along the near corner by the Crimson. Leading the charge there was Fusco, and now it's going to be cleared back to center, lifted back through center. And the Crimson will turn around with Ratchlin, try to fire it back on into the UNH end.
Well, perhaps right now we're seeing the effects of these teams that both had tough weekend series. And now with a Tuesday night game.
Hughes with a shot that's knocked down.
Just may not have so much energy out there to stick with it in all three zones right now. You got to dig deep and find that energy.
Schlegel out to the far side left. Wildcats angle it along the far wall. Trying to chase it down there is McManus. Looking on the corner for a little bit of help. She skates with it outside left circle. Now she pivots back further to the corner. Played along the far wing as the Wildcats try to work their way in with the freshman from Milton. Behind the net, lifted along in front of the net to kind of redirects its way in front there with Taves. Behind the net, the Wildcats, it finds a forehand stick of Prowse in front. Save made by Tizenbaum. Retreating back further and carrying it along are the Crimson. They try to outlet it out to the far side right. Warner tries to get it back across the center, and she does. Carrying it along out to the far wing, it's Friesen. Back through the middle, the Wildcats take it away and backhand it along. It comes back through neutral. Retreating back to play in her own zone there was Pepper. Comes back across center, and now here come the Crimson, 3-on-3. Back into the zone between the dots, taken away here by the Wildcats and Taylor. She backhands it along to center with inside 3 to go. Still that 1-0 tally, courtesy of Harvard and Lexi Lang back at the 6:10 mark of the first period. Wildcats wrap it around out to the far side wing. Played over there by Chapman. Carried along back through center. Played here by Taylor. Taylor with one arm on her stick tried to carry it along, but she was well beyond the line, so everybody has to come up for the Wildcats and touch up the line. Puck lifted along out to the far wing, just in front of the penalty boxes, as we have nearly 2 minutes to play, just outside 2 minutes to play here in the first period. Bouncing puck back through center. Wildcats play it here with Revkin. Revkin with a short feed up ice, trying to get it to Turner. Turner with a diagonal right to left out to the far wing. Wildcats carry it along and now drop it back. Here's a wrister that's sent in wide. Got a redirect there. Jonna Curtis sent it in. Revkin now tries to play a bouncing puck up ice. Dunbar gets it back up to the point. Played here by Jenna Rowe. She sends one in wide just outside the near pipe. Puck comes bouncing out to the far wing. Played over there by Harvard. They lift it back to center. Wildcats in front of the penalty boxes, lifted along again, courtesy of Jenna Rowe.
Yeah, this is like pond hockey. No whistles. You don't bring whistles out to pond hockey. You just play up and down, up and down. That's what we're doing right now.
Up along the near side left, sent into the New Hampshire zone, and there's Cashin guiding it aside. Played over there by Rowe, a backhand feed out to the far wing. Played over there by the Wildcats and Nicole Dunbar. There's Lang to take it back on top of her own line. Here come the Wildcats with McManus. She was met there by 2 D-men right there for Harvard, awaiting her drive into the zone. Puck redirects back into the Harvard end as we now have 1 minute to play here in the first period. Behind the net, carried along there by McManus, lifted upstairs by the Wildcats, and Schlegel comes out to the far wing on the block down, and now here comes Fusco. Fusco into the zone, top left circle, trying to center it up as Lang was streaking right up the middle. Out to the far side left, Cats in transition with inside a minute to play. Here comes Schlegel. Schlegel with a toe drag, gets it knocked off her stick. Lang gets it out to Fusco on the near wing. Back through the middle, Wildcats try to knock it down on the clearance bid back the other way. Taylor tried to get a handle. Instead it comes all the way back behind Hillary Cashin. Played out to the far wing. Fedeski tries to get it along to the near side right. Taylor into the zone. She sends a shot in. Blocked down in front through Fedeski at the point. 15 to go here in the period. Howren gets it out to the far side left in front of her own bench. Now here's Taylor. Taylor up along the near side wing, looking for a little bit of help from Hazlitt. And a rebound in front, but instead it's squeezed and knocked down by Tizenbaum. Stopping play with 8.1 to go here in the first.
Yeah, good to see that shot get right on net. Make Molly Tizenbaum work. She's a senior out of Ontario. 0-2 record this year. Her goals against average is decent, under 3.
Quick shot on the draw, knocked down by Tizenbaum again.
Of course, you would expect somebody from Toronto, Ontario to be good at goalie, good in hockey.
Face-off control by the Crimson. And that's going to do it. Horn sounds on period number 1. A fast and furious first period with very few whistles. Back and forth they played up and down Taos Rink. We'll take a timeout. We'll take break number 3 of our first period rotation. We'll do that now with a 1-0 lead. Harvard on top of the Wildcats. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
Are you ready? Set, shoot! Shoot these scores.
Nate and Pete with you from the Whittemore Center. Jeremy back at WGIR. Thank you, everyone, for listening on a rare Tuesday evening as the Wildcats take on Harvard University here at women's ice hockey here from the Whittemore Center. Wildcats taking on Harvard this week with 2 games coming up this weekend against Providence, a home-and-home with the Friars. We'll have the home contest for you coming up on Sunday here from Durham. Myself and Pete here, but first things first. 1 period in the books here against Harvard, a 1-0 deficit thus far. We return 5-on-5 as New Hampshire will be skating right to left here over the duration of period number 2. Here come the Crimson back along the near side right. Walking it along into the zone, there's Zarzecki through the corner out to the far wing. Wildcats try to steer it along. Bouncing puck comes back in to the New Hampshire end. Angled along to the near wing, kept in on the near point. Shot intercepted in front there by Fedeski. That one came from the right point in Z. Back along to the far side left, and the shot finds its way in from the left point by the captain, Mastel, and it's held on to by Cashin, stopping play with 19:24 to go here in the second.
All right, Wildcats got to get the game going here on the breakout. Harvard getting the first draw on the Wildcat end here in this period.
Back up at the point, out to the near side right. Pepper gets it straight up between the circles, taken back by the Wildcats up along the far side right. Wildcats have to use some of their speed here coming into this second and third periods. Wildcats, one improvement that's been very noticeable this season is their speed. Used to have a lot of speed years ago during that great championship run in Hockey East in the mid-2000s. A penalty coming up here as a loose puck squirts out to the far corner. Wildcats have some speed to their advantage this season, and will have a penalty coming up here. Stopping play with 18:54 to go here in the second. Wildcats going to go on the power play for the first time this evening.
That's going to be defenseman Allie Pepper. Is going to go into the box and have a seat there. And that's just going to sit down next to Mark Five-Hole Wool. Former goalie, used to play out here a lot.
This is a Unitil power play. Unitil energy for life. Wildcats carried along at the point. Poke checked away. Wildcats chase down all the way into their own end. Pelletier wraps it around out to the far wing. Terzon over there for Harvard trying to keep it in. Wildcats on the takeaway. If they skate 4-on-2. Back into the zone, Schlegel. And jumping the gun were the Wildcats out on the wing. So 1:41 to go here on the UNH man advantage. The Unitil man advantage. And we'll get the face-off back in neutral ice.
All right, this is where you got to gain the confidence, get things established here. You're down by a goal. You gave up a power play goal. Now you got to get one back here early in the second.
Turner tries to guide it along. Played out to the far side right by Schlegel. Backhanded along. A bouncing puck off the end wall. Followed up here by the Wildcats and Curtis. Curtis here on the corner. Looking now on the hashes. Cross ice feed. A one-time bid and a save made. Schlegel was awaiting the diagonal across the ice. Nice job there by Tizenbaum making the stop. Schlegel is down low on the circle trying to send a one-timer home.
Yeah, Tizenbaum provides a big challenge there. All that equipment there and those huge pads. She just looks so wide in there. Not a whole lot to shoot at there. I don't know if it's the crimson jersey makes her look bigger, but you got to be a lot more precise, I just sense.
Behind the net around, played up to the point. Schlegel to Pelletier, out atop the circle, redirected high and wide. Matt Katz on the man advantage for the next 66 seconds. Curtis feathers a feed out to the circle on the far wing, backhanded along, nobody back through the middle. Taken back by the Crimson, it's going to be cleared back. Here's Hughes. Hughes back through the red line into the offensive zone. Shorthanded bid comes bouncing in front of Cashin, cleared out to the near half wall. 50 to go here on the power play for New Hampshire, a Unitil power play. Back across center, Turner. Turner couldn't quite gather up full possession of the puck. Tries to battle here atop the circle on the near wing as the Wildcats try to get some fresh legs out here as they approach a half minute to play here on the man advantage. Here's Pelletier. Inside 17.5 to go here in the second period. Down a goal, 1-0 to Harvard. Centering feed between the dots, backhanded along wide. Cleared back along the far wing, and now end over end comes gliding back towards Cashin. 16 to go on the Wildcat power play. Only 5 power play goals on the season for the Wildcats. 5 of 55. Power play numbers not as good as their PK. Back up to the point, here's Rowe, intentionally wide. Cleaned up behind the net, there's Dunbar. Dunbar tried to send a feed back up to the point. Harvard gets back to full strength, so the Cats 0 of 1 on the power play this evening. Played along the far glass, lifted up into the air, and now here are the Crimson to carry it along. Back through center, here's Warner. Back into the zone, and save made by Cashin. She made the initial bid. She thought she had it smothered. Instead, it's going to be cleared up along to the far wing as the Wildcats come to her defense. The rest of the Wildcats come to her defense on the clearance. Comes along to the near wing on the initial save there by Tizenbaum. It comes back to center, and now here come the Crimson again, top of the circle. Between the circles again. Trying to carry it along there was Warner. Up along the far wing, comes bouncing back to center. 16-11 and rolling to play here in the second. 1-0 to score as Howren gets it out to the far side right. Back through the middle, here's Hazlitt. Through the center line, tries to send a wrister in. Comes out to the corner on the far wing. There's Taylor. Taylor on the corner. Behind the net, played by the Wildcats and Hazlitt. Out to the far wing. Now straight up here's Schlegel. Schlegel splits the defenders. Sends a wrister in off the pipe. Comes out to the near wing. Schlegel again. Knocked off her stick, and it's going to come all the way back in towards Cashin. Icing will be whistled here against Harvard. 15:41 to go.
Great bid by the Cats. You know how I love puck on pipe in the evening, but it hit the wrong side of the pipe, veered over into the corner. Good puck movement out on the points by the Wildcats defensemen. Back and forth with good confidence in their stick handling. It seems to be gaining in development here in the early going of this season.
Top circle on the wing, comes behind the net, played over there by Ratchlin, out to the far side wing, now back through center. Played here by Turner, gets it out to Dunbar, top right circle, tries to send a wrister in, and a nice save there by Tizenbaum.
Yeah, Dunbar moving that puck in there in tight quarters. Freshman out of Coto de Casa, California. Getting a good snapper off on the goaltender Tizenbaum.
Shot showing 17-15 in favor of the Wildcats. Back through center. Here comes Hughes. Hughes into the zone. Drop back feed. A wrister in by Pepper. A follow-up bid there on a streaking Lang. Out to the near corner again. Wildcats try to lift it along. Kept in at the point here by Pepper. Tries to guide it along with one hand. It comes back to Turner. Turner now plays it out to the far side right through Dunbar. Comes bouncing off the far kick plate and trying to chase it down are the Crimson in their own end. Big headman feed, and now here's Lang. Crisscrosses with Hughes. Hughes tries to force one in. Comes back off the end wall, wrapped around to the near wing. Back along to the point. Massel couldn't quite hold it in. Wildcats try to carry it along there with McManus. Nice job there by the Wildcats, and Tuzos trying to take it away. Guided aside by Cashin. Cycling behind and around is Howard. Out to the far side right. Here come the blue and white. Inside 14.5 to go. Behind the net, played there by C. Harvard now carries it along the far side left. 4-on-2. Harvard into the zone. A centering feed that redirected off a Wildcat skate found its way in towards the middle. Hallett was streaking up the middle and now comes out loose to the near corner. Played here by the Wildcats. Rowe trying to battle for the puck. She wins it. Carries it along the near side left, and it's going to be played out to the right side on a wing feed out to the Hannah Tuzos. On the circle in her own end. Angled along by C out to the far side left corner. Played back to their own line. Harvard trying to gather it up and carry it up ice. C tries to get it back across the middle to Warner. Comes out to the far wing, and the Wildcats try to skate along with it into the offensive end. Pass too far behind Chapman. Up along the near side right, and here come the Crimson again. Turzon along the near wing. Turzon looking for a seam, cycles behind. Gets it out to the circle on the far wing, carries it along by herself. Out to the far left, top the circle. Broken up on the feed down low, there's Mullins. Turning around and firing it deeper into the zone are the Crimson. Trying to chase down here on the near wing, Zarzecki. Centering feed too far in front of Turzon. Wildcats try to play out to the near wing with Revkin. She carries it along and backhands it to center. Revkin regathers it. Gets a diagonal out to the far wing. Chapman, she was handcuffed on the cross ice feed. And now Harvard will clean it up in their own end. Zarzecki angles it along. Does it have enough to get the icing call? Yes, it does. Schlegel to touch it up, and we'll get the face-off back in the Harvard end. 12 minutes, 42 seconds to go here in the second.
Yeah, a lot of Harvard action in the Wildcats end here, and Harvard gets those first couple of lines out there, and they can get some sustained pressure on you and pin you back in your own end. I do like that Fusco line, Hughes line.
Face-off won by the Harvard Crimson. Turzon behind the net gets it out to the far wing. Kept in at the point by the Wildcats. Around out to the corner on the near wing, deep in the zone. Harvard trying to outlet it up and out. Comes back to center, and there's Schlegel to try to send one further ahead. Schlegel from the center red line sends it to the corner. 12:20 to go here in the second period. Harvard up 1-0 on an early power play goal by Lexi Lang. That one coming back at 6:10 of the first. Wildcats into the offensive end. Kicked aside there in a follow-up rebound bid, trying to spin around and backhand it along. There was Curtis, and now back across the middle. Here comes Lang. Lang tries to angle it along, tries to pass it to herself off the near half wall. Hughes trying to help out as well on the carry ahead up ice. Pelletier gets it further behind the net, and there's Schlegel. Inside 12 to go here in the second. Played out to the far wing. Schlegel gets it up ice further. Trying to lift it along there was Turner. And the Wildcats from inside the red line backhanded along.
It's like this is going to be another one of those 23-minute periods to play all 20. Just fast up and down, not a lot of breaks. Certainly not as much action towards the goal here in this period so far.
Hughes tries to lift it along. Now the loose puck along the near half wall. Hughes again battling alongside McManus. Played along the near wing. Now across ice, Wildcats play in front of their own bench. Wildcats rush up ice outside right circle. Feed in front broken up. McManus gets it back to the point. Fedeschi tries to wrap it behind the net. Wildcats play down low. McManus was there trying to jam it in on the short pipe. Comes behind the net again. Trying to play over there is Taves. Comes out loose behind the net, backhanded along. It comes back through Fedeschi. Pulling back to further to play is Warner. Gets it back out to the far left corner, and now Pepper will guide it up ice, and it's redirected up into the bench. 10 minutes, 45 seconds to go here in the second period. Harvard up 1-0 from Learfield. This is New Hampshire hockey.
Your UNH hockey team next home game comes against UMass Amherst on November 18th at 7 p.m. right here at the airport.
Fedeschi with a blast, with ease gloved down by Tizenbaum. Now a face-off here coming in the Harvard end. Wildcats play it back up to the point. Howren with a feed behind the net that hits the kick plate. Sent in or carried along the far side point by the Wildcats. Kept in here by Howren on the big bounce off the corner on the send-ahead, and now behind the net, it's going to be wrapped around and cleared back to the point. Nice job by Fedeschi keeping it in. 1-0 Harvard on top of the Wildcats. In front of the UNH bench, it's cleared back to center, and the Wildcats will have to touch up the line. Harvard behind the net, trying to force it up and out. Turner trying to intercept, and now along the near side right, here comes Turzon, sending one in. Rebound left out in front by the Wildcats Cashin, but Coach Stone in the midst of a change, and now the Wildcats come back into the offensive end with some speed. Here come the Cats, a shot that's blocked down off the stick of Dunbar. Backhanded along to the point, not up and out. Wildcats hold it in. Dunbar is going to try to attack the loose puck over on the far wing. Revkin plays back at center. Harvard now will come back and angle it along with a light tap just atop the red line. Curtis tried to carry it along, and back and forth they play on the near wing as Mullins now sends it up ice. Up along the right side. Back to center. Wildcat right D and Revkin carries it along. Lexi sends it in. Guided aside by Tizenbaum, and now the Wildcats try to pinch in at the point, and they backhand it along. They do so for a moment with Revkin, and now it's cleared back to center.
Yeah, it was a nice step out there at the blue line by Revkin, but her tip went right to the other team. And boy, if it was just a little angled a little differently, that might have turned into something really good for the Wildcats.
Drop back feed Lang. Fusco tries to get it across the middle. Loose puck in front, and it's taken away here by Rowe. Rowe comes back along the near wing and now clears it up and out of the zone and up and into the bench. 8:39 to go here in the second. We'll step aside. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield. Wildcats carry it up ice. A shot that's knocked aside by Tizenbaum off the stick of McManus. Now the Wildcats deep in the offensive zone, down 1-0. McManus tries to backhand it along, looking for some help behind the net. Instead, the Crimson on the takeaway will carry it along the far wing. Here's Warner up along the far left circle. Wildcats on the takeaway. Wildcats and Taves try to play on the half wall, and it's going to be poke-checked away by New Hampshire. Trying to chase down here to the near wing is Prowse. Nice job by Alley getting it back into the Harvard end on the poke check away. And now along the near neutral, it's going to be lifted along by Hallett. Wildcats on the chase down with Schlegel deep into their own zone. Up along the right side. Played here by Schlegel through the red line into the zone. Looking for a little bit of help as there's two Crimson sweaters draped all over her, and it comes back into neutral ice. Now carrying it along the near side left. Wildcats play into the zone with Taylor. Backhanding it along, trying to chase down over on the wing is Haslett. Inside 8 to go here in the second period. Actually, inside 7.5 to go here in the second. Back and forth we have played for the first 33 minutes of hockey. And now the loose puck is battled for out on the corner on the left side of Tizenbaum.
Now the referees don't like to blow the whistle. They want the players to move the puck here. Saw that happen in the men's game last week, and it ended up costing UNH a goal.
Along the right side, going to be cleared back to center on the carry up ice by Warner. Comes back to the Harvard D-core. They go D to D, and now up along the far side wing. It's going to be taken back by the Wildcats in their own zone. Short feed Fedesky to Taylor, looking for a big headman feed. Chapman was skating across the center line. Backhanded along, and the Wildcats try to play in front of their own bench. Wildcats skate right to left over the course of period number 2. And now the Wildcats with a 2-on-none back the other way, and snapping a feed just wide was Turner. Wildcats play it out to the corner, back up to the point. Here's Fedesky. Fedesky trying to thread one in. Comes bouncing back off a redirect out to the far wing. Lifted along further. Turner tries to play to the corner. Pinched off against the wall is Curtis. Jonna now looking behind the net, looking to wrap it in, and a save made by Tizenbaum initially, and it slides in under her pad. Jonna Curtis with a goal for the Wildcats, the equalizer on a wraparound bid, and she gets it by Tizenbaum.
Yeah, I was about to say, it might be the time of game where the captain of the Cats, Jonna Curtis, starts to take control here. We really hadn't mentioned her name a whole lot, but she takes the puck out of that Zamboni corner over there, swings it around the back of the net. Tizenbaum looked like she had great position, but she had the wickets open just a little bit. She didn't get the right leg over and down and left that little opening, and Jonna Curtis found it. We're tied up at 1-1.
Wildcats chase down in their own end, so 1-1 is our score. Wildcats clean it up with Dunbar. For Jonna, that is goal number 8 on the season. Top circle on the far wing. Cats send it in, and it's guided aside by Tizenbaum. Back up to the point. Turner, she keeps it in. That whole sequence really started with Turner back the other way. It was a 2-on-none, and the Wildcats applied all kinds of pressure in the offensive zone just before that Curtis 5-hole goal. Backhanded along Hughes, can't quite get it across, and now here come the Wildcats with Curtis again sending one in. A big rebound by Tizenbaum, cleaned up here by the Crimson, and it's cleared back with a big diagonal right to left back into UNH territory. Played behind the net by New Hampshire, and there's Rowe. Rowe skating along the far right circle in her own end, gets it out to Prowse here on the near side left neutral, gets it through the line, and now out to the near corner. Taken away here by the captain and Mastel. Comes out loose in front. Prowse tries to guide one in from one knee. McManus tries to send one along, and it's held on to by the netminder in Tizenbaum. Jonna Curtis makes it a 1-1 game. Back after this. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield. Side, Harvard in the offensive zone. We have 4 minutes and 26 seconds to play here in the second period. Wildcats and Harvard Crimson all even at 1. Wildcats now into the offensive zone, and Hazlitt's shot is held onto by Tizenbaum, and a face-off coming up in the Harvard end.
Yeah, the Wildcats look like that's going to be their 13th shot on net here in this period. It was off to a slow start, and then teams just started piling up some shots, and the Wildcats getting some good bids down low on Tizenbaum. That one up around the mid-range. Johnny Curtis with a low wraparound. The only goal for the Wildcats so far in this game.
Shot from the point, rebound by Tizenbaum. A wraparound bid by the Wildcats, and it can't quite find its way home. Guess who? It was Curtis again trying to do the same thing on the same pipe. Now here come the Crimson back into the offensive end. They skate out to the corner on the far wing. Played over there by Harvard. Looking to carry it along there was Hallett. Hallett now drop back feed. Gets it further along for Warner. Back up to the near point. Pepper tries to send one in, and now it's taken back by the Wildcats. Dunbar skating along the near side left. Dunbar gets it poke checked offside. She cleans it up against the wall. It finds the forehand stick. Sends it further along through the zone. Back up to the point. Lifted along. It comes bouncing out to the corner on the far side. Wrapped around to the near side wing. Played on the corner now by the Wildcats. Here's McManus. McManus now with all kinds of speed. A burst of speed out to the far circle. Looks to center it up Schlegel. Schlegel was handcuffed on the centering bid, and now the Wildcats play on the near wing. All kinds of speed in the offensive zone for the blue and white. Pelletier with a blast, and it finds a left glove hand of Tizenbaum again. 3:14 to go here in the second period. Jonna's goal, that was the first goal of the game for the Wildcats. And in case you missed it, it was EnviroVantage to the rescue with their traditional fish abatement after the first goal scored by the Wildcats. Serving New England for over 25 years, EnviroVantage is your one-stop resource for environmental cleanup and is proud to be an official partner of Wildcat Sports. Visit EnviroVantage.com to learn more. Harvard on the draw will play it out to the far side left. They carry it back through center into the offensive zone. Odd man rush back the other way. Out to the far wing, played to the corner. Fusco behind the net, cycling around, tries to lift one in. Cashin there guards that far pipe on a bid by Hughes out down low on the far left circle, and Cashin up to the challenge.
Yeah, Cashin had to cover the near post as Fusco came around the back of the net. It slid right across the crease over to Cat Hughes, but Cashin did a nice job of being very nimble to get to that far post as Hughes tried to bang it home on the one time.
Mastel on the drive. Fusco now on the rebound off the end wall. Comes outside right circle. Back up to the point. Played by Z. And now here's Hughes trying to tee one up, and it's redirected up into the mesh. 2:39 to go here in the middle period.
Johnny Curtis's goal. Assist is credited to defenseman Julie Fedeski. Now Jonna almost had a second one on a follow-up wraparound. Jonna's dad came up to the press box on Friday night, talked a little bit with Mike Murphy. Nice to see him all the way out from Minnesota.
Hazlitt up ice, gets it to Chapman. Chapman now back through the center line. Played back to center, knocked down by Harvard. Hughes tries to lift it along. Howard gets it out to the far side right. Cats try to carry it along. Out on the far red line, it's sent up ice. Cashin comes out to play. Leaves it behind the net, and it's redirected up into the mesh on the wrap around bid by Fedeski. We'll stop play with 2:04 to go in the second. We'll step aside. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield. Wildcat end lifted up into the crowd just in front of us. 1:35 to go in the second. Fan Seacoast Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Somersworth and Lee is one of the largest providers of orthopedic care in the Seacoast and in the state of New Hampshire. SOS Med is home to the official UNH Wildcat orthopedists and team physicians. You can receive the same great care from the region's most respected leaders in sports injury treatment. Visit them online, sosmed.org, to learn more. Face-off won by Hughes behind the net. Centering feed broken up by Chapman, intercepted by Chapman. And now up along the right side, it's going to be sent up and into the Wildcat bench. Yes, I was going to say into the zone, but it found its way just inside the Wildcat bench over by the far door. 1:21 to go here in the middle period.
There's still time here. The Wildcats might be able to flex it a little bit here and get a bid off, maybe a solid chance off on the goaltender Molly Tisenbaum.
Wildcats chase down on the send ahead. Dunbar lifts it up into the mesh. Another face-off coming here with 1:11 to go. I don't think we're going to get that 23 minutes. We might be close.
Yeah, we're going to be close. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly
the
time
clock?
it, but no, I didn't. No.
Face-off to the corner. In the Harvard end. Wildcats play with Jonna Curtis on the near wing. She gets pinched off against the wall. We approach a minute to go here in the second period. Wildcats' latest tally courtesy of Jonna Curtis here in the second period. 1 goal in the first, that one for Harvard. 1 in the second, that one for New Hampshire. And now we're in the final minute of period 2 as the Wildcats chase down into the zone. Here's a shot that's sent in wide off the stick of Carly Turner. Out to the corner, Z. Out to the near wing, cleared back along the near side right. Gets it out to the far side left, Fusco. Front line out there for Harvard to close out this second period. Not for long, they'll change it up right now. Get some fresh legs out there with the line of Mullins, Turzon, and Zarzecki. Wildcats play with Turner over in front of her own bench. She sends it into the Harvard zone. Bouncing puck along the near wing. Pelletier trying to keep it in. Zarzecki trying to take it away from McManus up along the near side right. Trying to split the defenders there on the carry up ice was Turzon. Wildcats play back through center with 3 to go. Trying to send one along was Dunbar. It was knocked down off the body of Ratchlin. And the horn sounds on period number 2. Pete, the Wildcats battle their way back with Jonna Curtis's wraparound goal. We'll get the highlight in just a moment, but just a few moments thereafter, she almost had number 2 to give the Wildcats a lead.
Yeah, you know, seniors do that. The captains, they get to a spot in the game and they take control. They make a statement. They put their exclamation point on it. You expect that out of Jonna Curtis, and she did it right there in that period, kind of taking control a little bit for the Wildcats.
Point number 78 of her career for the senior from Elk River, Minnesota. UNH Athletics would like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Renee LeClaire and Tony LeClaire for their continued support. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And don't forget,
Attention fans, it's time for Wildcat Shootout. For this event, 2 contestants will shoot 6 pucks each and will attempt to make each one into the net. It will start at the farthest blue, where 3 pucks will be placed for each contestant. They will then shoot 2 pucks each from the centering red line. They will then finish at the closest blue line, where they will each shoot 1 puck each. Today's contestants are Nicole from Medford, Massachusetts, and Caroline from Kingham, Massachusetts. Contestants, are you ready? Set, go!
left to right here in the third, and getting ready to open up the third period. Jonna Curtis opposite of Caitlin C, and C wins the draw. Harvard with control here as we kick off the third period. Nate, Pete, Jeremy, all with you here from the Whittemore Center and from WGIR back in Manchester. Thanks for being with us as Mastel sends one in, and it's kicked aside by Cashin on the drive in front. Carried along the near wing on the rebound. Taves tries to get it along. Curtis overskates it. It comes back along the near wing. Mastel, a short feed up ice. Played here into the zone here by Zarzecki up along the near wing. Tries to gather it up opposite Fedeski. Comes out to the far wing, and there's Howen for the Wildcats trying to clear it up and out. Pass too far behind Jonna, and it comes back to center. Zarzecki gets it back into her own zone. And now up ice, broken up by the Wildcats on the big headman feed, looking for Fedeski. Try to take it away. Centering feed in front, kicked aside by Cashin. Comes out to the far side left, and Taves now will carry it back through neutral. Backhanding it along into the zone. Changing it up here are the Wildcats as the line of Prowse, McManus, and Taves all come out. Pelletier guarding the point here, trying to hold it in. She carries it along further to the corner. Pelletier behind the net, looking for a centering feed. Backhands it along. Prowse was there for the Wildcats, trying to get a handle of it. Back up to the point, played up to the far side left, Schlegel. Touch feed out to the left side again, Pelletier. Schlegel regathers it on a feed from Pelletier. Puck comes bouncing in front of Tisenbaum, and she'll hold on to it, stopping play with 18:31 to go here in the third period. 1-1 here from the Whip.
I thought Marie-Jo Pelletier was a forward on that. Boy, she looked good going down low and looking for opportunities. At the end of that play, though, Megara McManus in there trying to create that dirty goal out in the crease. Make a statement here. Freshman denied, though.
Backhanded along. Carrying it up and out of the zone are the Crimson. Up along the near side left. Mullins sends one in, and there's Cashin to make the stop again. She smothers it. And we'll get a face-off coming up here in the New Hampshire end.
This has been an evening where the goalies have to have been really good, have had to have been really good down low. Another shot, butterfly-style save by Cashin. Most of the shots here tonight have been along the ice. Goalies have had to get down and be quick.
Some nice grade A opportunities here for both teams here in the early goings of the third. Could this be the third period we're looking at, Pete? Some offensive firepower at both ends of the ice. Wildcats with a couple of bids, so too with Harvard. This feed broken up and now carried along here by the Crimson out to the far side right. Lifted along out to the corner on the left side of Cashin. Chased down here by Rowe. Rowe on the corner. Spins around out on the far wing. Skates along the far left half wall. Gets it across the line. Broken up, and now here come the Crimson. With a 1-on-2 odd man rush back the other way. Wildcats with a nice defensive stand there with Taylor trying to break it up. And now the Wildcats in transition send it along into the offensive end. Quickly turned back to the Crimson, who carry it along the near side wing. Back through the line. Top circle, sent in wide by Warner. Out to the far wing, trying to play over there is Hallett. Back up to the right point, now straight up. Down atop the circle on the near wing. It's whistled wide again. This one again off the stick of Warner. Off the end wall, out to the corner now. Played here by Curtis. Curtis on top of the circle, tries to get it across the middle. Tried to connect over with Turner. And now the puck comes loose in front of the Harvard bench just down below us. Warner, top of the circle, looking for some room. Sends one into the sweater of Cashin, and she'll hold on for the stop. 16:47 to go here in the third.
Yeah, this little last flurry here by Harvard really started with a couple of very nice passes on the breakout. One up to center ice, and then the next one just inside the Wildcat blue line to gain possession down deep. And Harvard's been on the Wildcat half of the ice ever since that nice breakout.
Prowse tries to lift it along, played behind the net, backhanded along. Taves tries to play for New Hampshire, tries to angle it along, but there's quickly Lang on the takeaway, and now Hughes. Hughes playing the loose puck on the corner, gets pinched off against the wall. Wildcats with McManus trying to clean it up. It comes back along the near wing, cleared up and out of the zone. Trying to chase down here for the Wildcats is Prowse. She skates back along the far side left, looking to send one in, and a save made by Tisenbaum.
Yeah, that was a nice break by the Wildcats. Allie Prowse getting back there on defense was Chelsea Zadie. She cut the angle. It really only allowed Allie Prowse to take one wrist shot from about the far face-off dot. Elliott, I think, might have liked to have carved an edge and gone in alone. Just wasn't there for.
Back up to the point, kept in there nicely by Schlegel. Outside left circle, a centering feed. Trying to send it in there was Hazlitt. Instead, along the near side wing, the Wildcats play to the corner. Penalty coming up here against Harvard. Should be a boarding call.
Yep.
15:59 to go. We'll step aside. 1-1 our score. A power play coming up for the Cats. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield. And now it's soon to be 5-on-3 as the Wildcats try to carry it along in their own end. On the takedown there, Peltier taken down, and the Wildcats were only about, 23 seconds into that original power play, Pete, and now on the takedown they go on a 5-on-3 advantage.
Yeah, Haley Mullins was the one that took down the Wildcat defenseman, and it was interesting because the puck slid right to Amy Schlegel instead of carrying it up ice and pulling the goalie. She elected just to give it to Harvard and said, hey, we'll take the 5-on-3 with a face-off deep in the Crimson zone.
Here's Rowe. Rowe plays with his Unitil power play. Unitil, energy for life. Off the back kick plate, comes back up to the point. Rowe slides it out to the far side left, gets it down low. Trying to send it in here along the near pipe was Dunbar. There's Rowe to try to send it further along. Here's Carly Taves. Taves out to the far side left. McManus gets it back to Howren. Howren, a top left circle, down low feed, goal line extended left. Back up atop the circle, now comes back to Rowe, straight up. Down low, Dunbar tries to send one in. She tries to keep it down low. Lifted along the near wall, and it's cleared back to center. 57 to go here on the two-man advantage in favor of the Wildcats. Into the zone, here come the blue and white. Here's McManus, gets it over for Dunbar, tries to send it in on the far pipe, and trying to keep it in over on the far side was the captain in Curtis, and now coming back to center, here come the Cats with Dunbar. Crisscrossing with Curtis. Jonna skates along the near circle, looking for a seam in front, backhands one in. Couldn't quite get enough mustard on it to get it through the near pipe, or by the near pipe. Wildcats control it. Two-man advantage now for the next 28. Played along the near wing, Schlegel. Back to the point, straight up Fedeski. She sends one wide, off the end wall. Trying to play the rebound with Schlegel. Comes out loose out to the corner and chased down by Schlegel out to the far wing. 16 to go on the two-man advantage. The Unitil power play for the Wildcats. Over along the far wing, here's Curtis. Gets it back atop circle. Here's Fedeski. Back and forth, they play with Peltier out to the far wing and a send in very lightly. Couldn't quite a full handle on it was Curtis as she tried to guide it in through the near seam, or far seam rather. Couldn't quite get enough on that feed.
Well, the Wildcats throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the Harvard, and they had three chances right in a row from in tight. And goaltender Molly Tisenbaum, boy, she's standing tall in there, giving this out a 1-1 game. This is going to kill the first penalty here off this faceoff.
So now 22 to go on the 5-on-4 Unitil power play. Cats couldn't handle with Schlegel. It comes back to the point. Nice job by Fedeski for a moment keeping it in, and now in transition here comes Harvard. Up along the near wing, Terzon. She looks for a little bit of help from a trailer. Along the near wing, here's Hughes. Hughes on the corner, looking in front, trying to send one in. Knocked down in front by Schlegel, and now she'll carry it along. Schlegel now along the near side wing. 5-on-5 we play now. Unitil power play 5-on-3 and 5-on-4 over. Turner tries to send one along, blocked down here by the Crimson. We'll see if they can take advantage of this momentum coming off the PK. Atop the circle on the near wing, looking for some room in front, backhanded along. Getting her right pad on it was Cashin. Comes back up to the point, and a blast is sent in wide. Mullins with the initial drive in. Wildcats play out on their far corner, and now it's going to be cleared up along the near wing, but not up and out. A played here along the left point. Walking it along here is Warner. Warner back to the corner. Pinched off against the wall there by the New Hampshire's Hazlitt. Both teams battle for a loose puck on the end wall. Snapping a feed back up to the point are the Crimson. Winding up, sending one in wide was C. Up along the near wing, cleared up and out of the zone. The right side of the ice for the Wildcats. Turner gets it up ice for Fedeski. Fedeski was out there for an extended period on that power play, and then it carried over to a 5-on-5. On the near blue line, Wildcats doing a nice job here with Devin Taylor on the takeaway. Tries to force a feed over atop the circle for a streaking Hazlitt. Now it comes back across the line, and the Wildcats touch it up. Played back by the Crimson. Here's Z back through center. She'll lift it along through neutral ice, and chasing it down for the Wildcats is Revkin. Revkin now drops it back, gets it Taylor, out to the far side left. Here's Rowe. Rowe on her own left circle, tries to get it up ice, and now McManus. McManus outside left circle, looking for some help on a trailer. Out to the far wing, trying to play out to the far side left further is Chapman. Chapman will out pivot on the far corner. Looking for some help there in front by McManus. Behind the net, the Wildcats try to play a loose puck off the end wall. Here's McManus. McManus looking with Taves behind the net. Out to the far corner now. Here's Taves. Gets a feed back up to the point. Picked off there by Fusco. Fusco along the far side right. It's a foot race out to the far side left. Fusco on the takedown. Taves is going to go off for 2 minutes here on the drive into the New Hampshire end.
Yeah, Taves trying to hustle back and be the third man back on the defensive back check. She took the Harvard player down, and you could just kind of sense after 2 penalties in a row, right back to back, causing an extended 5-on-3, that Cats were going to have the next one go against them. Not that it's written out that way in the rule book, but so many times it happens, and Taves is going to sit down for a couple of minutes.
Wildcats gain control for a moment as Curtis tried to carry it along. Back up top of the point, kept in by the Crimson. Here's Ratchlin back straight up now, back and forth they play. Ratchlin out to the far side right now. Played outside the right circle, back up top to the point again, sending a slap shot in. Hit that pad of Cashin. Heard that big echoing boom off her left pad. The Wildcats on the PK for the next 1 minute and 30 seconds. Back up to the point. Played here straight up by Ratchlin. Looking along the near circle. Threading the needle in front was Zadie, and now along the near wing, it's going to be cleared up and out of the zone by New Hampshire and Turner. 1:16 to go on the Wildcat penalty kill. Turner kind of slumped over. She skates back towards the Wildcat bench. Up along the far side right. Sent in towards Cashin, and very innocently redirected in courtesy of C. Is held onto by Hillary, and we'll get a face-off in the New Hampshire end with 64 seconds to go on the Wildcat penalty kill.
A chance to get a couple of fresh legs out there for the Wildcats. Big kill here as we near the middle point of this third period.
At the point, looking Hughes. She zips one wide. It comes out with a big bounce out to Fraser out on the far wing. Back up top to the point, Mastel. Front power play unit out here for the Crimson. 3 power play goals on the season, 1 here today. They came into this one 2 of 17 on the power play. Back to the point, Mastel. Mastel inside blue line, sending one in, looking for a redirect. Comes out to the corner on the near wing. Cleaned up here by the Crimson, and Mastel tries to send one in. It's going to be cleared back, courtesy of Taylor.
Yeah, there we go. Nice chance to stick down and get it out of the zone and make Harvard regroup.
Played back in their own end. Here's Fraser along the near wing. Played here into the zone now. Outside left circle, drop back feed. Hughes with all kinds of room. Gets a shot off and a score. 12 seconds remained on the penalty kill for the Wildcats. It's now a 2-1 game with inside 10 to go.
I thought Hillary Cashin had that with the right shoulder. That's her blocker side. It was a good ripper of a shot. And it just managed to elude that shoulder. Yeah, it's a big goal here as Harvard now takes a 2-1 lead. Still have just about half the third period left here, so plenty of time for the Wildcats to regain it.
And Harvard again sending one in towards Cashin. So the Hughes goal for a freshman, 5'7", out of New York, New York. Her first career goal, and now her 6th game played. We'll step aside. 2-1 our score. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield. Schlegel and the Wildcats carry it along into the offensive end, and now they have to come back and touch up the line. A nice little drive into the zone by Taylor. Didn't quite get it past the netminder and Tisenbaum for Harvard. So the Wildcats with an opportunity as we stepped aside, and now back in to the far side left neutral zone as we come back to the Whittemore Center. It's sent up ice, and the Wildcats off on a change. Taylor, the lone Wildcat that remains out there on the ice. Revkin at center trying to take control, tries to glove it down. Now Hallett carries it along into the offensive end. Nice job by the Wildcats on the takeaway. Here's McManus. McManus skates along the far left neutral, gets it into the offensive end, looking for some help. Here's a shot and a save made. Backhanded along, Prowse with 2 golden opportunities to try to send one home. Wildcats hold it in the zone. A big blast by Fedeschi off the end wall. Wildcats clean it up here outside right circle. Looking down low is McManus, gets it to the corner. Looking is the Wildcats and Taves. Taves tries to carry it along out to the far circle, far corner rather, and she gets it knocked off her stick. Wildcats and Prowse trying to take away on the near wing. Backhanded along, Taves tries to play, and now Harvard will gain some traction and get it up and out of the zone. Nice bids there by Prowse. Taken away here by Curtis on the Crimson carry up ice. Now here's Curtis into the zone, trying to backhand one in, and it's held onto by Tisenbaum. Yeah, Wildcats with some nice offensive pressure here, Pete.
Yeah, definitely. Allie Prowse, Jonna Curtis there. Tough save to make there off the backhand. It just came so quickly off the stick after the little deke by Jonna. Before that, Allie Prowse with 2 bids. She forced Tisenbaum to make a great save, and the follow-up, she just skied a little bit over the crossbar.
Now the Wildcats and Turner trying to send one in on the far pipe. Played out to the corner on the far side, behind the net, cleaned up here by Harvard. An outlet feed up ice, a headman feed up ice, and now along the near wing, here comes the Crimson with Lexi Lang. Back up to the point, fanning on the bid by the Crimson was Zadie, and now it comes back out to neutral ice along the left side. Carried up ice by the Wildcats through the circle. Wildcats look behind the net, carried along here by Dunbar. Dunbar now retreats further to goal line extended, trying to force a shot in. Just in front of Tisenbaum, her stick was being held up, couldn't get a full bid off. Here's Taylor, tries to get it back over for Hazlitt. Try a little bang-bang pass action there, and Wildcats couldn't quite get a handle on it as Hazlitt blew a tire as she skated back into the zone. Now to the far side left, cleared back to center. Wildcats with a skate, and Hazlitt tried to cradle it and carry it up ice. Instead, Harvard takes control in their own end. Picked off at center by the Wildcats as it's lifted back in to the Harvard zone. There's Mastel to play behind her own net. Mullins along the near side left. A headman feed. Here come the Crimson along the near side left. Drop back feed again, and nice little movement into the zone there as Terzon skated up ice with Zarzecki.
It's what Harvard wants, is a continual flow of play, good possession, and let that clock tick on down.
Centering feed all the way through the slot, the high slot area. Played over there by the Crimson and by Mullins. Behind the net, it comes out loose to the near wing. To the near wing, Zarzecki looking for a centering feed. Gets it to the circle. Terzon sends one in. Save made by Cashin. Behind the net, looking to center it up. It comes back through the center blue line and split the defenders. And now Harvard will chase down in their own end.
Yeah, another good save by Cashin down low. She got the butterfly going. So I mentioned so much about how both goaltenders have been good down low here tonight, and the go-ahead goal was scored upstairs.
Jenna Rowe gets it up ice. Wildcats and Curtis into the zone. Jonas forces one in, follows up her bid off the end wall. 5.5 to go here in the third period. 2-1, Harvard on top. Curtis skates high slot, backhands one along, and it finds its way into the sweater of the netminder and Tisenbaum.
Now we're going to see the Jonna Curtis line double shifted a little bit more here in this third period with time winding down. 5:22 left to play. She's obviously the elite player out on the ice here tonight with the ability to turn the tide of any situation.
Here come the Crimson back through center, taken back by the Wildcats on top of the center logo with Rowe. Out to the far side wing, cleared back ahead, played here by Fusco. Touch feed back and forth with Lane. Out to the far wing, played out to the far side right, carried into the zone, sent into the zone by the Crimson. Behind the net, centering feed by Hughes, broken up. Wildcats on the carry ahead up along the far side left. Trying to play up ice as Dunbar tries to chase to the corner. Inside 5 to go. Wildcats skate left to right. over the duration of period number 3. Bouncing feed out to the far side right, and it's wristed down, or blocked down, redirected down on the wrister out to the far wing by Hughes. Comes out loose to the corner. Wildcats try to clear it along. Too far behind Taylor. Chased down here by Howren behind the net. Forces out to the far side left. Wildcats play out on the wing. Up ice feed. Using her skate again was Hazlitt. Hazlitt lifts it along the far half wall, and she sends it into the Harvard zone. Wildcats looking for some help there with Taylor as she trailed behind. Comes back up to the point. Howren sends it further along. Bouncing puck is knocked down on the far circle, and now Harvard will clear it up and out of their own zone. 16-minute mark. That's what we approach here to play in the third period. 2-1. Wildcats down a tally. Out to the far side right. Here come the Harvard Crimson into the zone. Top of the circle on the far side wing. Knocked down by Cashin on the send-ahead. Cleaned up here by Taylor on the near circle. Devon now skates back out to the far side left. Skating up to the far side wing. The Wildcats send it into the zone. And it's knocked down and held onto out from the wing and Schlegel by Tisenbaum. We'll step aside. 3:46 to go in the third period. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
And we missed the goal.
Season for Schlegel.
She made such a nice move. Little toe drag out there in the high slot to elude a defender, and then pulled it into the open area and ripped a seeing eye shot right inside the post. Thing of beauty.
Cats come back into the zone looking for a tip in from Taves out to the corner on the far side. Playing on the far wing, loose puck, both teams battle. It's Taves over there, little help from McManus. McManus comes away with it outside left circle, looking down low. There's Taves. Taves gets pinched off against the wall. We have 3 minutes and change to go here in the third period. 2-2 is our score on the latest tally by the 10 sweater in Amy Schlegel. Out to the far wing. Beltier out to the far wing. Wildcats carry it along. Here's Curtis. Curtis tries to swivel her way back towards center. She gathers it up again. Short headman feed up to Turner. Turner looking to skate up with it. Gets her stick held up here on the drive into the zone. She holds on to possession, though, somehow. Here's Dunbar. Dunbar sends one in, and it's redirected wide on the near pipe. Out to the far left corner. Wildcats hold on to it now outside left circle with Curtis. Jonna looks for some room, sends one in, and it's guided aside by Tisenbaum. Inside 2.5 now to play here in the third period. 2-2 is our score. Here come the Crimson along the near wing. Terzon tries to backhand it in on a centering feed across the middle. There across the middle was Zarzecki. And now here come the Wildcats back across center into the zone. They skate with it atop the circle on the far left with Dunbar, and it's held on to by Tisenbaum.
Yeah, nice little move by Dunbar to get back to the forehand side. Freshman out of Coto de Casa, California. If you're in the Laguna Niguel area, you'll find Coto de Casa up in the hills. A couple of nice golf courses there too. Nice shot there by Nicole, though.
Near half wall. Fusco trying to clear it up and out. She does so. Along the near side wing, carrying it along. It was Hughes and forcing a shot in well wide. Off the far half wall, kept in over there by Hughes. She turns around and fires it deeper into the New Hampshire zone, her offensive zone. Wildcats play it up ice. Taylor hit her body as Howren tried to clear it up and out. Mastel will turn around and fire it back on into the New Hampshire end. Inside 2 to go as the Wildcats play it over on the far left neutral, carrying it up ice. Here come the Wildcats and Schlegel, top left circle. She loses an edge as she carries it along. Played over there by Hazlitt. Banked along up to the point, kept in along the far side left by the Cats. Bouncing puck ahead. Schlegel turns around, fires one in. Cats try to clean up a loose puck over on the far pipe. It was Taylor. And covering it up there was Tisenbaum.
Yeah, Tisenbaum had to have the skate down. That was labeled just inside the far post. Yeah, great stick-to-itiveness by Devin Taylor, sophomore out of North Billerica, Mass.
Carly Taves, Allie Prouse with the assists on the latest tally off the stick of Amy Schlegel. From the Top of the circle over on the far wing was Rowe. She sends one wide on the face-off win for the Cats, and now a headman feed. Here comes Zarzecki into the zone. She winds up and sends one in, kicked aside out to the far wing by Cashin. We're approaching 1 minute to go in regulation. Wildcats play on the near corner, and now up ice. Here come the blue and white. Here's Taves. She lifts it along the near half wall, and now she'll chase it down to the corner. Up along the near wing, Peltier tries to keep it in. Outside right circle, Wildcats battle for it, kept in at the point by McManus. She'll send one in wide. Off the end wall, it comes out to the far side right. Cats trying to change here for a last shift with 40 to go here in the third period. Wildcats smother the drive into the zone by the Crimson, but a nice job by Hughes carrying it all the way into the zone after it was knocked off her stick. A down low feed. There's Fusco through the middle. It's broken up. There was Lang on the doorstep. Between the circles, Fusco sends one in again. The pad save made by Cashin. Lifted along by the Wildcats and cleared back to center. Up along the near side left is Mastel. Up ice feed, here's Fusco. She gets knocked off against the wall. There's Turner doing all she could to try to keep Fusco from getting a shot off. Back up to the point with 5 to go. Played here by Mastel. She sends one in wide. Big bounce off the kick plate. Oh, and Hughes was trying to clean it up as the horn sounds on period number 3. We are heading to overtime.
Wow, that top line there for Harvard, they just decided they were going to try to end it in regulation time, not go into overtime. I thought that was going to be labeled.
One more break to take care of from our third period rotation. We'll do that now. Intermission coming up from the Whittemore Center in Durham. 2-2 between Harvard and New Hampshire. From Learfield, this is Wildcat Hockey.
Probably some guests like Hillary Witt. Maybe even Bill Bowes with
maybe
his
hat. Out to the far side. Wildcats right to left here in the overtime, just underway. 2-2 is our score. Wildcats getting a tally late, courtesy of Schlegel. And now into the zone. Here's Lang. She sends one in, and it's held on to by Cashin. You have the tendency to head over to Buffalo Wild Wings for a show or two.
Yeah, for a show or two. Yeah, I like to join in the crowd. There's always a good UNH vibe there at Buffalo Wild Wings, and it can break up a winter too, going out on a Monday.
Yeah. Too bad it's not middle week, break up the week a little bit. From the point, sent in wide. Mastel with a shot. It kind of got a piece of the right pad, or maybe the right skate of Cashin. Now a centering feed, a shot blocked down in front by the Cats. Didn't quite make its way all the way in. That one off the stick of Hughes. Now along the far side right. It's trying to play it up ice there was Curtis. Harvard comes away with it on the center logo. Wildcats now take it away, carrying it along the near side left. Carried into the zone here by Peltier. She tries to send one in. It's guided aside by Tisenbaum. Played out to the corner on the near wing. Backhand feed to the corner deeper. Now it's played by Turner to the point straight up. Schlegel tries to force one out to the corner on the far side. McManus over there gets hooked up. Played further behind the net by McManus. McManus tries to wrap it around, cleared back up to the point. Nice job by Peltier keeping it in. Her shot blocked down. Nice job there regathering it, as Hughes would have had a breakout all the way up the right seam. With one arm, Taves trying to steer it further behind the net. Played along the far half wall, and the Wildcats retreat back as McManus will come back to play in neutral. You couldn't tell whether if Howard wanted to attack that puck at the point or not. She kind of held back, and now Harvard's going to get whistled for an icing here, and a face-off will come inside the Crimson end with 3:32 to go here in the OT.
Just to tell you how rapidly played this game is, those two men's games in Division One of them is just starting the third period, and the other one's a couple minutes into the third period. We're already well into overtime. Up and down we've gone here today. Been very entertaining. We're going to have a timeout here that'll slow things out just a tad, but we're going to face off deep in the Harvard end, and the Wildcats pressing offensively.
Don't forget the Wildcats skate on the road coming up this weekend. They'll skate down to Schneider Arena down at Providence College, and then they'll return back here to the Whittemore Center on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock face-off between the Wildcats and the Friars. Myself and Pete Webster here for that one, but a whole lot of Wildcat action between now and then, and that includes Jim Janot and Mike Murphy coming up on Thursday with the basketball call, airtime at 6:30, tip time at 7. And then, of course, Mike and Pete back here at the Whittemore Center as the UMass Minutemen come to town. Another winnable game for the Wildcats here as they try to improve on their 4 points in conference. 5 points in conference.
Yeah, the tie.
Oh, the Merrimack. That's right.
tie.
That's right.
Just a couple of days ago, come from behind tie, boy. Exciting fashion with Jason Salvaggio's goal with the extra attacker out there.
Face-off control by the Crimson out to the far side left. Here comes Fusco up along the far left wing. Tries to center it up and tried to actually send it in on net and looking for a rebound in front. It's going to be cleared back out to the far side right. Wildcats with Turner send it further ahead into the offensive zone. Behind the net, a bouncing puck comes out to the corner on the near wing. Hughes banks it along out to the far wing. Fusco is awaiting it out to the far side left wing. Comes behind the net, there's Mastel, and now a bouncing puck comes all the way to the near wing, and again, here's Hughes again, centering it up. Here's Fusco lifting it along. Wildcats try to chase down out behind the net. There's Howard out to the far wing. Now Turner in their own end. The Wildcats trying to skate with it along the far side wing. Comes back along to Dunbar. Dunbar across center. Center blue line. Sends a wrister in wide. Comes out to the corner on the far wing. Back up to the point. Cats hold the zone. 2 minutes, 36 seconds to go here in the overtime. 2-2 is our score. Up along the far side left. Harvard trying to clear it up and out. They do so. Centering feed and up along the near wing, Zarzecki taken off her stick there by the Wildcats and by Taves. Regathered here by Turzon. She sends one upstairs. It hit the stick of Cashin. I don't think she meant to get a piece of that one. It would have gone well wide to the corner. Comes out to the far half wall and it's cleared up and out of the zone. Harvard couldn't quite hold it in.
Yeah, how often do you see it hit the goalie stick? As we're going to have an offside call here. The goalie stick up above near the knob. I thought that actually might have deflected towards the back of the net.
Yeah.
Just from our angle here. And it took me a split second to figure out that it wasn't going to go in with a perfect angle to see what was going well wide.
From the left neutral, sent in by Harvard. Inside 2 to go here in OT. Wildcats doing everything they can to try to clear it up and out with Rowe. Up along the far wing. Loose puck battled for on the far wall, and it's going to be cleared back to center. Penalty coming up here. This one should go against Harvard. It does. Interference should be the call here. So the Cats for the next 141, the duration of this overtime period, will go on to Unitil power play.
Yeah, number 17 pulled down number 17. So number 17 for Harvard is going to go to the penalty box. That's Brianna Mastel. She's the captain of this squad. Senior out of Wallingford, Connecticut. That's a big penalty there for Harvard. She didn't want to take that one, but it looked like it was going to turn into a 2-on-1 break for Devin Taylor.
So Cats on the Unitil power play. Unitil Energy for life. Top of the circle on the far side right. Peltier straight up. Gets it out to the far side right. Schlegel backhands it along. Fedeschi tries to backhand it in. Loose puck in front. Curtis there jamming it home. And the Wildcats will walk off with the win on the power play. Final score 3-2.
Oh, the Wildcats make the Crimson pay. The puck goes into the crease on the backhand. Big Julie Fedeski gets a good bid off. There was another whack of the puck there. I think maybe he was at Slagle. And, but then, or it might have been Chapman. But then it just slid right over to Jonna Curtis. She had an easy little poking, I think, with the backhand side. And that's what captains do. They score big goals. I think it was Chapman there whacking away, and it just went right to Jonna Curtis through the pads and in the back of the net. Cats win.
A power play goal for Jonna, another 5-hole goal for Jonna on the contest. She scores 2 in the Wildcats win 3-2 over the Crimson. When we return, the Bud Light postgame show. Bud Light, a proud partner of UNH hockey. Wildcats raise one to right now. A Wildcat win 3-2. Back to the Whittemore Center after this from Learfield.